All right, thank you guys for joining us. This is a special call that we're having tonight. Normally I have a team call with Power Team Marketing every Sunday night, and it's also important because we are now at the halfway point of the year for 2017. And I've said this before for those of you who have seen my videos. Oh, and by the way, for you who don't know me, my name is Brandon Ivey. And at the beginning of the year, we all made New Year's resolutions about where we want to be and what we want to accomplish in 2017. And we all had high hopes. And I always know when you reach the halfway point in the year and you kind of reflect on where you are, a lot of times you're not happy because you're not where you want to be. And I'm here to tell you that it's okay. Don't be distressed about it, because the goal that you have for yourself is still the same. What might change is the vehicle that you need to get there. And the second half of this year, what we're putting together, as Shauna was telling me earlier, is going to be explosive. And I can't reiterate that word explosive because of what's taking place. And looking at where I am right now from where I started at the beginning of the year, I had no idea. It was not even on my radar screen about what's taking place. I mean, it is a common knowledge. Our main company with Body Pro, what we're going to be doing is taking full advantage of what the company offers as far as trainings, webinars, presentations, and we're going to follow their lead. But where our focus is going to be for Power Team Marketing is over the past couple of months, myself, my partner, Jairus Coleman, Peter Blackwell, there's one word that just keeps popping up in front of our desk. That's Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. As I'm sure, unless you are not turning on your computer at all, every single one of you has heard those terms. What is not known is how many of you actually understand what is taking place and what that means. We are in the midst right now of the beginning of the greatest financial shift in wealth in the history of mankind. I don't have time tonight to go into the long history, well, actually short history since it just started 2009, of where we are, how we got to where we are today. Just understand that it doesn't matter whether you know it, like it, agree with it, understand it, or you think it's all hocus pocus. Doesn't matter. It is going to happen anyway. And that is something that I could no longer ignore. There's another reason. And Forbes magazine summed this up very perfectly. When Bitcoin was first started in 2009, in 2011, Forbes came out with an article because there was a flash crash in the Bitcoin industry where it went from $10 or $17 to pennies in less than 24 hours, the worth of it. And Forbes came out with an article talking about that this is the end of Bitcoin. That was 2011. You fast forward today, Forbes came out with an article June of 2017, no, July 7th. And the article says, meet the man traveling the world on $25 million of Bitcoin profits. Now, how you go in 6 years from declaring the death of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency to highlighting on the cover about a man who is living the life on $25 million of profit. Had he listened to you, Forbes, in 2011, he wouldn't be living the life today. Opinions don't matter on this. It is taking place. And they said that the man invested $3,000 and turned that into $25 million in profits. At the time of that 2011 article, that month, I think I had made close to $30,000 in my home-based business that month, back in 2011. I could have afforded to pull out $3,000 and just dropped it in Bitcoin and not even thought of it. Where would I be today? They say it's hindsight is a blessing, or it could be a curse, because you never know what's going to happen in the future. That's why it's important that you have to follow the trends, read up, just the term follow the money. What are wealthy people doing? What are rich people doing? Where are they putting their money? Where are they investing? So what does all this mean for us today? And how can we capitalize on this? Well, you also have to understand a little bit about wealth. You know, when I first joined the industry of network marketing, I read a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, and I'm sure many of you have. It's time to pull that book off of your bookshelf, dust it off, and read it again today. More than ever. It's more important today than it was back in, 1998, 99, whatever it was written. It is far more important today. Wait a second. Where is that? I'm hearing some background noise.
It ain't me.
Oh, no, that's me, the Forbes article. I'm like, where is that noise coming from? It is my own computer. I had the Forbes article up. So anyways, it is more important today to read that book because it talks about if you want to become into the wealthy quadrant, you know, you've got to have your money work for you. You've got to move into investments and assets. And traditionally, that means owning real estate, property, starting not just your own businesses, but having other people run your businesses, investing in the stock market. You know, and that's been the traditional way for the last 100 years or so. The problem is most people have no access to any of that. Why? Because they lack capital. Whoever said you don't need money to make money was probably broke, and they're lying to you. Although that's true, you don't need it. Technically, if you want to get in the game and play, it takes money to make money. And then you have your money make money for you. See, most Americans don't have money to begin with, so they're never even in the game. Rich people, wealthy people, people that have access to resources. You've heard stories of people that say, I started with $5,000 and I became a millionaire. I started with $25,000, I became a millionaire. Everyone knows Donald Trump started with $1 million and turned it into billions. It takes capital, but most people don't have capital themselves. They didn't inherit capital, and they don't have access or qualify for capital to get things started. And even with the money that they do make, they don't know how to put it aside, to save it, or leverage it to make more, and they're stuck in a cycle. And here's some statistics. These are straight up facts about the current American today. This is shocking if you have never heard this before. Why is my computer moving again slow on me? Figures I just had this up. But we call it the death of the middle class. If you've been following me for the last couple of years, then you've heard these statistics before. So just give my computer a second. It doesn't want to cooperate. All right, here we go. You have to understand these statistics. 40% of all American workers have less than $10,000 for retirement. 76% of all Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. 51% of all American workers make less than $30,000 a year. 38% of all American workers made less than $20,000 last year. 62% of all Americans have less than $1,000 in their savings account. The federal poverty level for a family of five is $28,410, and yet almost 40% of all American workers do not even bring in $20,000 last year. And I want you to let that sink in for a moment, because every single one of you on this call fall into maybe one or multiple of these categories. If not, you are put into the top 0.5% of all Americans today. In fact, if you have no debt and $1 in your pocket, you're better off than 90% of most Americans. That's a fact. So how do we get out of this? Well, you get to put yourself in an industry that's creating wealth. And right now, that industry is the cryptocurrency, but not looking at immediate overnight wealth. We're talking about long-term, taking advantage of what's going to take place anyway, not 20 years from now, but the next 3, 5, 10 years on how our world is going to look, how we're operating, and will we be positioned to get a piece of the pie? Now, here's the bad thing about this. there are so many things popping up on the internet that it can be overwhelming to know where to start, where to begin. People think, should I just start taking money out of my paycheck and buying Bitcoins and buying Ethereum and buying all of these other things? Should I get involved with programs that's promising to double my money every 2 days or 7 days or 30 days? Should I get in a company that's doing an ICO, which stands for initial coin offering, because they made up their own coin, and if I buy it cheap and it becomes something, I'm going to be rich overnight? You know, you have a lot of this stuff out there, and it's noise, and you don't know where to go. You don't know what to trust. Most of it is crap. Most of them are going to get shut down. Most of them are only designed to survive 45 to 60 days and no longer to steal your money. The Bitcoin industry is unregulated, so you have no recourse. There's no chargeback. So it is very volatile and risky. So when myself and Jairus were looking at this on, okay, how can we position not just Power Team Marketing, but also our business of providing small, short-term loans to small businesses, and what we're also going to be doing now with funding, helping individuals get personal loans to invest, not go out there and buy a brand new car and clothes and live the life, but to turn that money into a positive cash flow every single month. What can we do that in a short period of time? That's a key word there. Not traditional, you know, stock market and Forex and all that stuff, but in a short period of time, but be responsible at the same time. And there's three things that we looked at. Number one, education. I partner with Tim Miller, and I'm not going to name any name of any companies on this call, but I partner with Tim Miller. He's the number one money earner in skinny body care. Now we have a program that is in the Bitcoin industry, but it does not trade, does not purchase, does not double any of your cryptocurrency. All it is about education. That's for those of you who want to get your feet wet to understand what's going on, understand the language, get familiar with what's taking place. Education. The other thing, step number two, is the asset side. You have to think of real estate. If you are an investor, and there's no secret why a lot of people who have a lot of money, one of the first things their lawyers and financial advisors tells them to do is to invest and put their money in either stocks, real estate, gold, investments, not necessarily keep it in the bank. Because when you let your money just sit there, it's depreciating in value. It's depreciating far more than it's getting a return on the interest sitting in the bank. So you want to get it tied up. Well, you hear stories all the time of multimillionaires that don't have cash on hand because all of their money is tied up in investments. I just saw a story today, I don't know how true this is, of Floyd Mayweather, who owns back taxes, talking about he's not going to have cash again until he fights Conor McGregor in a couple of months because all of his money is tied up and he can't just unravel all of that. There's a reason for that, because your money doesn't depreciate as much as it does in fiat currency with its cash over time. So you want to invest your money somewhere, primarily in a ways that's going to bring you a return on your money. So assets. So when you look at cryptocurrency, what kind of assets are there that you could put your money in and get a return? Not these companies. I'm talking about assets themselves. Well, how is Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies even generated in the first place? Again, I can't go into the history lesson of this, but it's called mining. Now, if you don't understand what mining means, I want you to think of the gold rush. The gold rush. Back when the gold rush happened, you know what people did? They automatically sold all of their belongings, moved out west. They bought all these tools, which is their picks and shovels, and they started digging in the ground for gold, for currency. Most people found nothing. It was a huge risk, but a lot of people did. Changed their families' fortunes overnight. But gold is limited around the world. there's not an infinite amount of gold. It's finite. Well, the same with the cryptocurrency, only it is the same exact ideology, except it's happening on the internet. The blockchain is being built by machines that's mining for gold. They're actually building the blockchain, and they're getting rewarded in the form of cryptocurrency. Now, even though certain ones like Bitcoin or Ethereum have a limited cap, 21 billion for Bitcoin, 92 billion for Ethereum. Once that's all been mined, does that mean the mining stops? No. Blockchain is continuing to be built. You're just going to get paid in fees. So when you look at gold and you look at finite right now, think of when Microsoft first got started and the janitor elected to get paid in stock in the company because the company didn't make any money yet. Microsoft, Facebook, same thing. And if you were smart enough to get the stock at the time, it wasn't worth anything at that moment. But you held on to it for 5, 10 years. The janitors and secretaries became multimillionaires. So right now, these miners are getting paid in the currency of what they're mining as the early adopters. And it may not be worth much now at the time, but over time, that's going to explode in value as it did with Bitcoin, going from $0 to $2,600 in value since 2009. Or Ethereum jumping up to right now about $240. Last month, it got up to $390 in value in just 2 years. So this is an industry that's going to continue to grow, and it has assets that is building it. What we want to do is make sure we can get in on those assets, purchase assets that is generating the money. Someone says, well, Brandon, should I just, buy cryptocurrency coins? I say, why would you buy a coin when you can buy the machine that's printing the coin? It's like, do you want to have cash or do you want to have the printing press that prints the cash every single month? You can buy the coins and hold it and just wait for it to go up in value, or you can buy a machine that just keeps printing out the cash for you every single month. That's the asset side. That is something that is factual. So I'm not worried about, is it real? Does it really work? The only thing that would be in question is companies that's putting it together, can they do it the right way? That's the only thing that's in question and the only thing you research when you look at a company that is mining for cryptocurrency. But that's the asset side of it, which is the purpose of what this call is about. The third step, which I'm still in deep research over, but it is solidly sound, is the trading of cryptocurrencies themselves. Just like the stock market trades, the Forex trades, there's a whole trading industry of cryptocurrency that you're making money whether the crypto goes up or down because it's trading on a daily basis. The first company I mentioned when we're talking about the education teaches you how to trade. But the way I look at things, I just don't have time. I don't have the desire to really sit down there and staring at the computer screen all day trying to become a day trader. I like stuff that's automatic. I like to have a system that does it automatically. That's what I'm currently researching. I have found something that I think may work, but I want to test that before I start to even begin to speak on it, and I don't need to, because here's another purpose of all this as well. Everything that we want to do on a passive basis, meaning it is not necessary to recruit to make money. The whole point is to allow your money to work for you. Allow your money to work for you. So, well, I don't have money. There we go. How do we get you money? Every single one of these programs out there I've been researching, the good ones and the bad ones. See, don't get it twisted. People think because somebody made a whole lot of money on something, that makes it legal. No. Just because somebody made money doesn't make a company legal. And just because somebody lost money in a company doesn't make it a scam. So I hope you understand that point. But what I found from all the legal and illegal ones out there is that to have a great big impact, you've got to come in big. It takes money, even in Forex. I see people trading in Forex and they're posting about it and they're posting their results. If you're just playing with a couple of $100, I mean, you're doing what, $2, $7, $4? And that's not bad if you spread it out over 10 years. But that's not why people are signing up. They're signing up because they're seeing other people posting, I made $2,000 in one day. I made $7,000 this week trading. What you don't know is that they have maybe $40, $50, $60, $100,000 in their account that they're working with. It takes money to make money. Even on the stock market, there's caps. You can't even play in certain games if you have at least $250,000 or more in. The little people don't even have access. So all of these companies out there, the more money you have, the more you're able to do in a shorter period of time. That also means it's more risky because you can actually lose. There is absolutely no guarantee. And if you ever start asking that question, get out of the game. If you're concerned about, I need a guarantee, go back to your job. There is no guarantee on anything. Everything is a risk, especially this. I'm telling you up front, this is a volatile market, but it's going to be highly profitable. That's why you've got to be smart. That's why I have it set up. Assets, it's a physical asset. Not worrying about somebody running off with all my money because they shut down the company. I want a physical asset. I want a mine. So now, here's what we've done. I'm going to give you an example of mining, for example. One machine costs about $3,200. That machine, under current markets or the last 11 months, generates anywhere between $800 to $1,200 a month in income. They may not continue doing that in the future. I like to be on the safe side. Let's drop that even by half. What if it is $400 to $800 a month? Now, when you get a machine, you have the machine, it's like on a lease for 24 months. So if you spend $3,200 and you're getting the machine, they'll take you at $800 a month return, 3.5 months, you just made your money back. Now you've got 21 months of pure profit. But let's cut it in half. Let's say it was only $400 or $500 a month you were making. If it took you 6 months to make your money back, and now you've got 18 months of pure profit of an extra $600 a month coming in, I think that was a good choice. What if you had multiple machines, all bringing in passive income every single month? See, when we told you about this call, we were going to show you how you can walk off your job and earn $5,000 to $10,000 a month passively through our funding program. Here's one of those ways, because I'm going to bring up Jairus in a moment to go over the details of the funding, because this is a personal loan for those of you that don't have capital on hand to play in this game. The personal loan anywhere between $15,000 to $40,000. The most important thing is when you get that money, what do you do with it? You're already coming out with it's going to cost about $1,000 a month to pay on this loan. We don't want you to be paying out of your current budget, whatever money you're making right now. We don't want you to have to add an extra bill on top of that, where now you're paying an extra $1,000 just to pay off this loan. No. The whole point is to use part of that loan to purchase assets that's going to generate you a positive cash flow every single month that you can then take out of and pay that loan. Not just the monthly, but pay the loan off in half the time or even a year. That's the purpose. See, when a lot of broke people get money, they don't go out and purchase assets. They go out and buy a car. They buy depreciating value stuff, clothes, cars, vacations. what we will advise you to do, and it is advised, we will advise you to purchase some assets, to put your money in places that's going to make you a return every month, pay off whatever debts or bills you're already currently so that you don't have that burden on you anymore. And did you realize, 5 machines cost $16,000. At current value, that's about $4,500 a month coming in. That's more money than the average American makes on their job. What if you had 10 machines, 20 machines, and you don't have to recruit anybody to have this type of income coming in? I like to call it earning network marketing money without having to build a network marketing team. That's my whole focus. I've been in this industry for 18 years. I've had well over 50,000 people in my organizations in my career. That's not easy. I don't want to do it again. This next phase of my career, even looking at getting out of the MLM space altogether, but I like the money I make in it. But how about letting our money work for us? So when you start seeing us talking about assets and having assets in cryptocurrency that's going to bring you some money, and you can't afford it, we solve that other problem there. That's the purpose of this call. Have a funding program in place to help get you started, to get you off the launch pad. You have some money to work with here, to have working for you. Now, yeah, you can do it without it. It's just going to take you a whole lot longer. Always use other people's money. If you love Donald Trump, it is one of his core tenets. Always use other people's money. Never use your own. He's a billionaire and he still doesn't use his own money. Always use other people's money. But we want you to pay it back. So here's another important ingredient. What we're doing this month with the people that we choose to go into this program, we don't want you just to come in and do nothing. The whole point is you will be able to pay this back and in a shorter period of time. That's the whole point. That's why we've been able to make this deal, to make this work. So it's not just we're giving you a loan to give you some money and go do whatever you want. It's a process. So with that, what I want to do is switch gears, and I want to bring up my partner, Mr. Jairus Coleman, who has years of experience in the banking world. He's the CEO of our company, STA Business Solutions, where we provide small business loans to short-term business loans to small businesses. We're currently working on deals, a $35 million deal that just grew to like a $100 million deal. Yeah, let's just say he knows what he's doing. So without further ado, I want to bring up Mr. Jairus Coleman. Jairus, you there?
Hey, Brandon, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Just go ahead and explain to everybody, what the qualifications are for the loan itself, and what we're doing this month by we're doing it a test market, 5 to 10 people or so, first come, first served, and the importance of it.
Absolutely. Well, first I want to say, if you allow me, give me a few minutes, I want to, you laid out a very eloquent presentation on giving people a basic understanding of the front end, and I know you're going to finish it when I break down leveraging other people's money, because we talk about it, leveraging people's money, but a lot of people don't understand it, and they're afraid, because usually most people are thinking in the form of, I need good credit or whatever to buy a house, buy a car. We're in a whole different economy. I'm going to break that down here in a minute. But I want to say thank you, Brandon, and I will break that down. But also I wanted to clarify something to you, and this is not to make us sound bigger, but that deal that you're talking about on the STA business loan, no, that's $140 million, buddy, which is about so it's 100. And actually today, as of today, when I made my post that I picked up when I talked to my boy Kenny Rushing, that's $70 million there. Basically, I picked up about almost $400 million in business just in the last 2 days in business. Now that's loans, and when they fund, that commission probably will be around $5 million. If there's an if factor in there, obviously, if those go through. But we recently just got a new funder on the commercial side that is trying to unload about $1 billion in cash into real estate properties. All I'm saying is that money makes the world go round in the physical world, and the person that says that money is not important is broke, and the person that says money is not a problem, they're wealthy. And when you understand on leveraging other people's money, we talk about this in the industry of network marketing. And if some of you guys know me, some of you guys don't. I'll basically break it down this way: is that I've been in the banking world for almost 15 plus years now at this point. And I've started. I've also ran. Some of you guys know me from Vitel Wireless to other direct sales companies or other companies that I've created on my own. What I've come to realize in building companies, building businesses, and also working in the corporate American structure and confine is that money truly is the language that no matter what color you are, no matter what person, no matter where you come from, money is the language that's a universal language. If you're broke, if you don't have money, it's hard to get anything. And this is not a bash when I say money makes the world go round, if the person that says money is not the most important thing in life. Well, here's the fact of the matter is if money's not important, then you need to go to your bill collectors. You need to go to your mortgage or your rent. You need to go to every bill and you need to call them up right now after this call, and you need to tell them money's not important to me, and it's not important at all. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this property here. I'm going to go ahead and keep paying this cable bill. And you probably, if you stop paying it, your lights are going to go off, your bill, your cable is going to go off, and all of it. So money is not important, right? Again, it's not about I'm not laughing. It's just the expression of what I'm giving to it. But money is extremely important. And I played the humble game of money's not important. I tried that, and I realized very quickly, you know what? As a man that's just providing for my household, hell, I got to wake up every day and grind. We all know that, and that's nothing new. Here's the thing: there's a way we are trained to go hustle and make whatever money that you guys are making currently right now. I want to open up your mind and thinking, and I'm gonna break down how this particular loan works. Yes, there's qualifications to it. That's why it's not why it's in a beta phase, but bottom line, everybody can qualify for it if they fix the credit, but it's a very easy loan to qualify for, and it's all about leveraging, using the money, and growing it. Because I'm going to give you bank statistics, and again, I've been in the banking world for 15 years. The average American has less, this is according to J.P. Morgan Chase, has less than $1,000 in their bank account. In their bank account. I want you to understand for 2 seconds how important money is. And you need to take a day off. How much money are you missing in your household? Am I okay to go there? I mean, I believe I am. If you miss out on a day or 2 or 3 or 4 or 10, or if you get if a physical ailment takes you out of the game for a time, you feel the pinch. And you start adjusting. Here's what I see. I've seen it in my own family. I've seen it in my own life. I've had nothing. I've hustled myself into something. I've seen it all. So I'm not saying it from, he sounds arrogant. He sounds like no, I'm coming from a place as a man who has a daughter, has a wife, has a home to take care of. I understand what it means to hustle and to bring in money to simply just do one thing, take care of the bills. So I don't have to stress. If you ask most people in their household, what do you stress? If you did an interview of 100 people, what do you stress about the most? It's money. Money, 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 money. Sex has a part in it too. Everything else, I know, I'm like, what did he go with that? Point is that money is the top of the food chain, and the reason why is because money means no worry or worry. That's the difference. I can't pay this medical bill. I can't pay this bill. I can pay this bill. But people adjust their life. Here's the thing. Now, I'm going to break down this loan because right now, this for the month of July, what Brandon and I are doing, and to give you guys how this particular loan product works and how you can leverage this and use it within the programs we design. Here's the point I'm going to make before I break it down. and leveraging and using this loan. Here, I've been in the banking world for 15 years. I've funded more than literally $10 million in loans personally. Almost $100 million I've brought into the bank when I was in corporate America. Almost more than a combined of $100 million in personal deposits from people. I personally did. I was out there networking for recruiting for banks. So, I mean, think about that for a second. And they were, I was only getting them into a program that was paying 4% every 6 months. Savings account special for a company called Banner Bank. Just to tell you how legit I'm talking about. So at the end of the day, working for a company, working for a bank, working for an institution, and bringing them millions of dollars. Clients, they were jumping over the table. Jarris, take my money. Take for that 4%. Ridiculous. I wish I had this program, Brandon, literally 10 years ago. I probably would have been fired, but I'd have been a millionaire, like a multi-millionaire. But at the end of the day, guys, here's the thing. That money, we are used to working for money and not money working for us. And we're used to talking or hearing in the network marketing about leveraging, but leveraging people. Yes, there's a recruiting element to everything. Brandon and I we research the hell out of everything we do. That's why we're open and we're coming out with it. This is our out call today. We research the hell. We have other investments, by the way, but it's about you have to have money. And most Americans don't even have $1,000 in the pocket. So I started to think, how in the hell can I get the average American doesn't even have a damn $1,000 in their pocket to start any business. You either have one or two things in this world in the business way to make money. You either got a damn good hustle, and that hustle is to the point, like me, you throw me to the lion's den, when it's done, you open the cage, you're going to see a man standing there with a whole bunch of rips, tears, but the lions are dead bodies, and you go, how did that man make it? Because I ain't giving up. I don't give up. I'm gonna kill every lion in there because I'm going to stand, because I'm going to make it. Not just for me, but for my family. That's my why. But at the end of the day, money is a big important thing for every person's life. We all fight for it. But how do you get every single person, or how do you get, it's not even every single person, because every single person can't do it. But how do you get the mentality of every single person to be able to take and leverage money and put it into passive income? And that is the credit. There's only two forms. You either have money, or you either have good credit or decent credit. And to understand this, credit is something that can be fixed. So the way this loan works, and I'm going to break it down right now, and I'm going to give it to Brandon after, as I break down the whole structure of how this works. It's very simple. The way to qualify for this particular the loan program that we use for the investment is you got to have a 670 credit score. Now, that's actually not bad. You have a 670 credit score if you currently are working for somebody, which is fine, by the way, and you need two pay stubs, or if you're self-employed, just make sure you don't have any credit alerts, and obviously provide your pay, how you pay yourself every week or every 2 weeks or a month, and then from there. Don't have any bankruptcies on your credit report, because we check your credit and everything else. The first thing I do, because I sift everything out first before we send it to my lender, is I look at your credit report. I look and see everything. And from there, it's pretty straightforward, because it's a stated deal. It's what they call a stated loan. Whatever we send to the lender, they look at it. And if everything fits in the mold, which, again, I don't send them any documentation until everything fits. 760 credit score minimum. And that's only on one credit, because just so you guys know, you guys have 3 credit bureaus that are reporting. You have Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. It just needs to be on one, and that's Experian. When it's on Experian and it's 670, you have one trade line at least that you're paying, which basically is a credit card or something that you're paying on time. And if you're thinking, oh, crap, I don't fit in this, even though this sounds simple, you can fix that. I want you guys to understand what Brandon just said. He's going to finish it off. What you guys can do, once everything is approved, when we get all the documentations from you, I look through your file and we submit it. I mean, the worst thing you can do is come to me, and that's what my call is let me look at your file and let's see if you fit the mold. But I'm going to use the rate of 10 machines. and Brandon's really going to break this down because he's a numbers guy. But if let's say you get approved for $40,000, 10 machines, that's around $32,000. 10 Ethereum machines, and I think recently, which I kind of knew this, but they can convert to any coin, but 10 machines producing $800 to $1,200 a month. Let's say that's $10K a month. Okay, let's crunch numbers. Let's sit at the table. Let's crunch some numbers. Your loan payment on $40,000 with this particular loan is going to be about $1,017 a month. I actually set it to the tape, virtually, on that amount. So you buy your machine, and let's say you paid aggressively, $5,000 a month, which leaves you about $4,000 in your pocket a month in recurring income on top of until those machines are paid. It'll probably take you about 8 or 9 months consistently to pay that machine off. With these machines, they have a 24-month renewal. That leaves you with literally, if I'm saying it right, around 16 to 14 months to where now not only you started making $4,000 a month because you're using 5 of the 9 or 10,000 to pay the payment. Now you're going after you paid them off. You're making $10,000 a month in recurring income. How many of you on this call are making without going to work, making $4,000 a month or $10,000 a month? And what would $10,000 a month do for you? But how this works is you have to leverage other people's money. Most Americans, again, do not have $1,000 in their account, because I sat back and I thought, how in the hell can we get people buying and growing? Because Brandon and I both I've come from the standpoint of building. I've built multiple direct sales companies on the corporate side. Brandon is a master creator or master designer in recruiting and development and building companies. We've been friends for years. Some of you guys know that. Bringing our efforts together. And so understanding we've looked at all the investments that we realize it takes money to fund all these. And the old saying that it takes money to make money is so freaking true. Most people will never see that side of the coin because they don't have one or two things. Again, they don't have the damn hustle, or they don't have the money. Again, when I said that analogy about me, you throw me in a lion's den. If I'm dead broke, throw me in the lion's den, I'm going to come out on top, because I learned already through going through building, losing, gaining. Dang, how does he make it? Because I don't stop. I can't. Even when I'm always going to have a smile on my face, even if I have $5 in my pocket. Man, he needs to give up. No, I'm not, until God calls me home, because I got a family to take care of. And the economy's changing anyway, so I need to make more money. And I know we all agree, or we understand that. But unless you have two things, hustle, or you have already money. And most people don't have a lot of money laying around just to use to grow it. And wealthy people know this. I've been in the banking world, the lending world, the investment world, building companies, using other people's monies, talking to wealthy people, rubbing shoulders, knowing billionaires. And I mean that Rufus McCaffrey, who owns the Seattle Seahawks. The point is that I understand that wealthy people, even though they have the money, like Brandon said, they don't use their own money. Why? Because they can leverage somebody else's money. Why? Because it minimizes risk. Because if you have $40,000 in the bank and you say, I'm gonna blow it. Here's what happens. There's no recourse for your money. But if you use somebody else's money, what happens? You can mitigate. If let's just look at the worst case scenario. Even if the worst thing happened, you can mitigate your risk. That's why wealthy people know I ain't using my money. I'm gonna use somebody else's money, because I got credibility, I got good credit, I got wealth. The bank checks every my state. I'm gonna get millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars because they obviously see my companies and corporations, and I'm using the power of my corporations to be able to get the power of more money. That's what wealthy people and how they think. I hope that opened up some of your mind. Your credit is the most wealthiest thing in your pocket. Hell, Jay-Z just came out with a dang song, 444, and he just said it. Some of you guys who keep up with some of the current events like that, he said it. The one thing that, instead of throwing your money away, the next thing that's just throwing your money away is throwing away credit. My point is that your credit accesses money. It truly takes money to make money. And when you get that principle, most people get money and they go buy, or they look at their credit. No, I'm going to buy a house. So you're going to buy a house. I'm not against the house. Trust me. My brother and I are getting into real estate, flipping homes, wholesaling, etc. I'm not against buying homes. But I'm going to open up your capillaries in your mind really quick before I pass on to Brandon on this. Most people go get credit. They think good credit is designed to go get a home and a car. The word in Greek, mortgage, means death grip, mortification. Can you see that? Morgue, death, ditch, the gauge. So most people will go buy a home. I got a home. But let me ask you a question. Do you got a plan how to keep paying that home 5 years from now if that job goes underneath you? No. Okay, well then there's a problem there. Or do you go buy that car, depreciation asset? Again, I'm not against this, but most people think good credit is designed for that. They don't think, wait a minute, I'm broke. I'm dead broke, but I got good credit. I got a 670 credit score. I'm here in Jairus. I can leverage credit and turn it into a recurring income of $10,000 to $5,000 and more a month without me lifting a finger when I wake up in the morning. Did you hear that? That's putting you in a position to where most people, when they wake up, they're thinking, how in the hell, or I don't want to go to my damn job, but damn it, I got to go because I got to pay the bills. How many of you it can relate to what, I know that was me. I remember 10 years, I'm in Portland right now on vacation where I'm originally from, and I passed by the bank I used to work at. I remember I used to drive in the back on my lunch break and go, how in the hell do I get out of this damn job? Trying to plot and plan. How in the hell do I get out? This was 10 years ago. How the hell do I get out of this place? I'm bringing them all this money, and little did I know, huh? So anyways, the point is that leveraging credit. So you guys hear the what you guys need to do to qualify for that? Again, I'm just fired up. You guys hear passion. I'm extremely passionate. Brandon and I have studied this program, not just this, but we studied other investment programs. We're not going to mention them on the call. But when you have money to make money to work for you, then money that's working for you is actually putting you in a position to where you are truly what we say leveraging, using other people's money. See, I don't look at, when I see credit now, the way I see it, it's like the Matrix now. It's like, oh my God, this life is temporal. How do I get wealth if I don't have it? My credit. But the question is, what do we do with that wealth? What do we do with it? That's the dangerous part. Most people don't think, oh, 6 credit, I got an 800, 700, 670, whatever credit score. I'm going to go buy a car, buy a house. So that means you're going to become a prisoner. You're going to become a slave to your house or your car. Again, I'm not shooting anybody, or again, I'm not against buying homes or cars, but I just want you guys to think that's how powerful it is. Instead of going, wait a minute, I'm going to take this. I'm not going to look at this in fear because we live once. I'm going to leverage somebody else's money because this ain't even my money, and I'm going to make more money until I double that. Brandon just mentioned earlier that there are so many people that have taken 5, 10, 15 and put it into the trade market and become millionaires. I'm not saying that the Forex or currency or the cryptocurrency market is the most stable because it's a growing market, but I will tell you this as a former banker, is that there is nothing that is growing consistently like Forex trade, or not Forex, but cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency isn't just here by, passing. It makes common sense to the businesses. Businesses like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and all these have dumped millions of dollars into Ethereum and the technologies that's behind it. I mean, I'm not even going to go into it. There's technologies and reasons for every coin that exists. There's 900 coins, but there's reasons. Bitcoin, there's a reason behind the technology. Not to mention, and I'm not going to get too dark in here, but I will say the tax sheltering from taxes, etc. I mean, if I ask you guys privately, how many of you guys like paying taxes? I mean, pretty much everyone. You guys go, hell no. Constitutionally, taxes are illegal, actually. Point I'm saying is, I'm not even going to go into conspiracy, is that at the end of the day, guys, leveraging somebody else's money to make money, when you start to think outside the box, because most people look at, again, I'm not a fan of Donald Trump, and some of you guys are, some of you guys are not on this call, and I'm going to end it right here. But when you look at Donald Trump and you go, I want to see his taxes, you know why he smirks? Is because the average person doesn't understand that he knows how the rules are the work. He knows, the wealthy know the rules of the game. The people that make the rules know the rules of the game. And the people that live in the rules of the game simply abide by the rules of the game. And then they call out people that don't play by the rules, but they are playing by the rules, but they know how to go around the rules. That's the problem. And I'm showing you guys how to leverage that. This is powerful. when you start to comprehend what I'm sharing with you. To leverage somebody else's money, grow it, turn it into maximum money. 24 months from now, you guys putting $400, $200, $400, $300, $600,000 in your pocket because you made a decision today. Brandon, I'm done, but I'm fired up because I know I'll keep going.
Yes, sir. Well, here's how we're going to end this, ladies and gentlemen, because this call was designed to be an introduction, and that's why we went almost an hour long. Here's what's going to start to take place. What we're doing is not designed to take you away from whatever it is you're currently doing right now. Whatever business you're in, whatever job you have, whatever programs you're involved in, stay in them. You don't need to drop or stop what you're doing. I'm still in Body Pro. That's not changing. But we do believe in diversification. And that is what we are doing in the crypto world. We're going to diversify, not have all of our eggs in one basket. And many of you are part of different companies that have investments tied to it that this can work with. So the next thing you want to do, if you are interested yourself, or you have people you know or people on your team that you know doesn't have enough money to get started in whatever it is you're doing, and they may qualify, get back in touch with myself and Jairus as soon as possible. We have a limited number that we're going to put through this month because we want to create a couple of success stories before we go into August. So get with us ASAP, and then we will tell you what the next step is going to be. Tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on liveonedream.info, I'm going to be doing a private presentation on the asset side, on the mining, how to purchase mining machines to leverage your income. Again, Jairus told you some of those numbers. If you bought 10 machines, I look at even worst case scenario. What if you bought 10 machines and they're generating just $5,000 a month? 10 machines, $5,000 a month. You will have that money back in about 6 months. Not only that, less than that, maybe 6 months, and the rest is pure profit. So even worst case scenario is still profitable for you. And Tuesday, we're going to have a presentation again at 9 p.m. Eastern, but it's going to be about this program. It'll probably only be maybe 15 minutes long. So everything that you heard tonight will be condensed down into a presentation type form. I'll even make a video about it that's short, 10 to 15 minutes long, and then we're going to keep it moving. And then after that, we'll release a schedule of what we're doing. So any of the cryptocurrency businesses that we are participating in with this program, we're also leveraging what they already have in place, their own presentations and trainings. So we don't have to do any of that. We just plug you in. But the point is that it's all going to be passive. So you don't need to take a whole lot of time out of your schedule and stop what you're doing to make all this happen, because you're letting your money work for you. We're showing you how to have money and pay for this without coming out of your own budget, letting it pay for itself. So if you're on the fence right now, I don't know if I want to go ahead and put myself out there and get a loan because I only make so much money and I'm going to have to be burdened with paying this back. No. If you still have that thought right now, you missed the point. The point is to have the loan pay for itself because you were smart enough to invest in things that's going to bring you a positive cash flow. That's the whole point.
And Brandon, by the way, if they get approved for 40 grand, 30, let's say they bought 10 machines, that still leaves them around $10,000 in their pocket that they can really do whatever they want with that money. So the point is that, I'm sorry, I had to throw that in there.
Yeah, exactly. And then you also can let your profits buy more machines. So instead of using your own money, and you scale up. So that's completely up to you. I've got different partners and different type of investment programs as well that they scale up. They've got a 6-month plan. They've got a year plan. I know I've got Chris McCoy that has a program himself. So this can work for anything, but the bottom line, when you get on the phone with us, we need to know, for you to qualify for this through us, you got to have a plan on what you're going to do with some of the money. And you got to be able to, we know that you're going to be able to pay off this loan as well. We're not predatory. We just want you to get the loan and that's it. No. We want you to grow from this process. That is what Power Team Marketing's new focus for 2017 is going to be about. educating our people on how.
Brandon, can I say this? And I'll shut up. I'm sorry. I got the giddies in me. We're going to create, Brandon and I and the people that link arms with us, we're going to create more millionaires. And I'm not saying that in BS, because for one, I've learned positive thinking. Brandon and I are all about positive. In fact, we remove all people that talk negative because we can't have that in our space. But we are going to create more people in the passive income space. Passive income. We're getting older. Not just Brandon and I. We're all getting older. We have to start to think, what the hell is going to be able to work? Social Security is not going to be there for the most of us. And so the fact of the matter is, while we're still able now, making a decision, leveraging to be able to put a wise man, Brandon, a wise man, you know this, a wise man, it's a scriptural, a wise man leaves up wealth and treasures for his children's children. I can't stop thinking about that, bro. I look at my daughter, Brandon, and I go, the wealth that I'm creating isn't just for her. It's for when I'm deceased, gone, and in heaven, and my grandchildren are inheriting the wealth. Wow. Go ahead, Brandon.
It's not going off no more.
I hear there's no background noise. So let's go ahead and now we're at the hour mark. You're absolutely right, Jairus. This is about creating a legacy, and any legacy, it's got to begin with something, and then each generation build off of that. Let you be the first generation to build off of this, and you do not want to be 10 years from now looking back and saying, hey, I was there when all this was taking place. Worst case, I was even invited to participate.
Okay, real quick. I'm looking right at you, boy.
All right. I got to end this because there's a lot of background.
Make that now. I'm not going to hear yelling all day. Go do it.
All right. I apologize for that background noise. But anyway, we will see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, if you want to hear about the top program that we're talking about that to invest in. I don't even like to use that word, but to let your money work for you in, to purchase an asset that's going to generate you an income, whether you want to get a personal loan yourself or you already have some cash sitting on the sideline. Say, yeah, I want to have some money work for me. I want to give me a couple of machines. We've got people that is killing it in it right now, and we're just getting started. So thank you guys for joining us. See you all tomorrow. This was recorded, and I will get the recording out as soon as it's uploaded. God bless. Good night, and thank you, Jairus. Bye-bye.
Good night.